Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have another layout to share. It's my second layout of the day for Simple Stories using Spooky Nights, which is a fabulous Halloween collection. I just love it. So I wanted to do something with spiderwebs, like instead of circles, for example. I went onto the Silhouette Design store and found a cut file by Simple Stories that is called Spiderweb and Spider, and I cut it in 5 different, well, not different sizes, but I did 5 different spider webs in different coloured papers and in varying sizes. So I did 1 big one, 1 small one, and then 3 medium-sized ones. And I also cut backings for them using black cardstock, and I stuck the pattern paper spider webs onto black, and that was just so that they are easier to overlap. When you have a design that's very open, like that spider web, then it can look a bit strange if they're layered on top of each other. It doesn't work that well. So by putting the backing on, that solves that problem completely. So I've chosen to use this pattern paper from the Spooky Nights collection, which is a black paper with white dotted chevrons all over it. I'm going to use that as my background. Now, I had this idea that I might try and put some colour or some mixed media behind the spider webs to give kind of like a glow coming out from behind them. Yeah, I've used 2 Distress Oxides. The colours are Abandoned Coral and Fossilized Amber. So I started off with the yellow one, the Fossilized Amber, and put that onto the background. You can see there the yellow going on, and then I pick up some of the amber colour, which is like a more corally colour, and then together they kind of blend together to make an orangey glow. It's quite subtle, but it just kind of does the job really to make the spiderweb stand out a little bit more. It didn't work as well as I'd hoped, because when I first applied it, I loved how it looked, but unfortunately the ink seemed to dry and then the colour faded. So I ended up applying a little bit more in a few places, and going over it again a bit harder or darker, in order to get that glow showing. It looks okay. It's the first time I've used Distress Oxides on patterned paper. I normally use them on cardstock. In fact, I'm quite new to Distress Oxides, so don't call me an expert or anything. So it was a different experience using it on pattern paper for sure. Okay, so you can see that I have my spider webs. They're kind of glowing now, which is cool, and now I just need to get them stuck in place. I'm going to stick them all on using foam pads so they all have a bit of dimension. I'm going to overlap them as well, and then I'm going to tuck my photo in between the webs, and then I have this little one as well that I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with. I was thinking it was going to sit at the bottom right corner of the photo, but actually it ended up right down the bottom and being cut in half. So I was always planning to cut the top one in half a little bit, or certainly make it flush with the edge. And then I ended up doing the same with the one at the bottom. I should also say that I cut 2 spiders from the black cardstock. So when I was doing the webs, I didn't cut spiders from pattern paper because I thought they would need to be a solid colour, which I did. So I did them in black, and I just backed their eyes with a little bit of orange paper, so that they had like spooky eyes. Okay, that's all kind of coming together now. I've got this kind of cluster of 3 spider webs going on there. This is the final little one going on at the bottom there. I'm liking how that's looking. Kind of got a vertical design going on, going from top to bottom. This cut file, because it was quite skinny, it didn't cut particularly well on my machine. I had to cut it twice in order to get it to, the first time my machine slipped and cut through all of the webs that it had already cut, which was slightly annoying because it wasted sheets of paper. I used the 6x8 paper pad to cut these, so it was lucky that I had a second sheet of each one. What I'm saying is, don't be disheartened if your machine chews up your paper. It happens to everyone. I just had my settings wrong. I had it set, my blade depth was just too long for pattern paper. I had it on my cardstock setting instead of paper, and it just got caught and tore through and then cut over everything it had already cut. So minor disaster there, but it does happen. And it was salvageable. The spiderwebs themselves are not perfect. There's a few imperfections, but I decided to go with them because I figured that those imperfections could probably be covered up, which is what I've done. So yeah. Okay, so now onto the really fun part of embellishing. I just love all these Halloween bits and pieces in the journal bits and the bits and pieces packs. I also love the foam stickers. I've added the title Spooky there. You can see across my spiderweb, the green one, with this crazy photo of my daughter. She's such an actress, honestly. This was last year's Halloween photos, so I'm looking forward to getting some new ones for this year. It's always a really fun time in our house. We all love it. And last year we had a Halloween tea party, made Halloween cookies and cupcakes, and had all of the wonderful trick-or-treat candy. It was great fun. Okay, so just adding in some ghosts at the top there. I've also added in some of the foam stickers as well as the title. I also have an orange eek, a blue boo, and a green danger. They are all from the foam stickers. I've also added trick or treat below the title, and the beware banner, which is from the chipboard. And then at the bottom I've added a couple of pumpkins. They're both from the chipboard, and the RRP gravestone, which is from the journal. No, it's not the journal bits, it's the bits and pieces. I've added in my 2 spiders with spooky eyes from the cut file, just raised them on foam pads. Yeah, the 2 ghosts at the top, one is chipboard and one is ephemera. Bits and pieces. I went for the chipboard instead of, there's 2 in the bits and pieces, but they were both facing the same way, and I wanted them to face opposite ways so they could be flying towards each other. So I opted for the other one is from the chipboard. Okay, so just a little bit more to do. I could just leave it there, but actually I wanted to put some more on because I have so much of this wonderful collection. I just love it. Just popped in a chipboard spider with web dangling. A chipboard web with spider dangling down, and underneath the other spider, going in with some label stickers now. So I've got Creep It Real, Let's Get Spooky. They're both from the 12x12 cardstock sticker sheet. I quite often treat my cardstock stickers as ephemera by just dressing the edges and then raising on foam pads, and that's what I've done with those 2 labels there, just above the title. I've added some chipboard stars and some foam stars from the foam stickers, coming in now with a few decorative brads. Can't really find much space to put them. This layout's pretty full already, but I've got Sweet and Spooky and Boo, and then orange one, and I think that's it. Yeah, just those 3 I've put onto there. I could have kept going for ages, putting more and more and more onto this layout, but I decided that I needed to stop, quit while you're ahead, less is more sometimes, right? Just adding in some last splatters of fossilized amber Distress Oxide there, just around the main clusters on the layout. So that is now layout complete. I hope you like this layout. I had fun creating it. It was fun working with a cut file. It's fun working with Distress Oxides, and I have I had a great photo to use, and just love all these fun embellishments. So thank you so very, very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that. Check out Spooky Nights by Simple Stories. Thank you very much. That was Nikki Rowland for Simple Stories.